do you associate with the word yoga? When you hear the word, when you think about someone who spoke about yoga? For many it might be someone sitting on a table edge, going starting to float in the air. Many of us associate a weird, unusual meaning to it. But yoga and meditation and breathing has significant health benefits, especially when it comes to stress. And this has been documented, it has been studied so much that recent research isn't really looking at it anymore because we know it is effective. Okay, so we'll go into a little bit of detail about what it actually is, what the components are, how you do it, and then why does it benefit your health. A common type, Hatha yoga, consists of the meditation part, pranayama, okay, that consists of the focused meditation part, and then the asana part, that is the different body positions that you move into, stretching, opening up your chest, breathing, and relaxing. Okay, now for the history, just 2 interesting things, and this is really exciting about yoga and about meditation, is it gives people a sense of control over their autonomic nervous system. So one of the first people studied in yoga was a yoga practitioner who was buried alive in a casket. Ground was thrown upon it, so there wasn't any extra oxygen except that which was in the casket. And normally that would only last 1 or 2 hours. He stayed there, he stayed inside the casket for 9 hours. So consciously, through his meditation, through his breathing, he reduced his metabolic rate so much that he was completely fine for 9 hours. And then the experiment was stopped. Maybe he could have persisted for much longer. Okay, but he was able to control his metabolic rate through specific focus and meditation. Another person, his trainer taught him how to meditate to warm up his body because he lived in a very cold climate. So he used certain meditations of being in a warm place and of his body warming up, so much so that when he did it during summer, he could meditate and make his own forehead sweat. So it's a really unbelievable sense of control people get by learning how to meditate and how to get this control over the autonomic nervous system.
For thousands of years, people have practiced meditation for spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. But from a scientific perspective, how exactly does meditating affect your body? Does it really do anything? It all starts in the brain. During meditation, brain scans see increased activity in regions directly correlated with decreased anxiety and depression, along with increased pain tolerance. The default mode network, in particular, is activated when one's mind is at rest and not focusing on the outside world, and has been found to improve memory, self-awareness, and goal setting. Want to be more caring to your friends and family? When scientists compared the brains of Buddhist monks to new meditators, they found the region of the brain associated with empathy to be much more pronounced in the monks. It also literally changes your brain waves, and we can measure these frequencies. Meditators have higher levels of alpha waves, which have been shown to reduce feelings of negative mood, tension, sadness, and anger. And if that wasn't enough, it also physically changes our brain shape and size. Studies found that after 8 weeks of a meditation program, gray matter was more dense in areas associated with learning, memory processing, and emotion regulation. And yet the amygdala, which deals with stress, blood pressure, and fear, had decreased gray matter. When we look at the entire body, not only do we see decreased blood pressure, but it can also increase the variability of your heart rate. And while this may sound harmful, it actually plays a critical role in properly transporting oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout your body. Think you're getting sick? In a study where both meditators and non-meditators were given the flu virus, meditators were able to produce a greater number of antibodies and had increased immune function. If we go a little deeper, we can even see changes on a cellular level. Your chromosomes have protective protein complexes called telomeres, which help reduce damage to your DNA and lower cell death. And a shortened telomere length has been linked to several diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and cancer. Amazingly, when cancer survivors completed a meditation program, their bodies showed significant increases in telomere length. It's believed that psychological intervention, particularly decreasing stress, has a direct effect on the enzyme telomerase, which has been shown to counteract shortening by adding DNA to the shrinking telomeres. Of course, meditation is not a substitute for other medical advice or a healthy lifestyle. We don't want you leaving this video thinking it will cure cancer. But much like hitting the gym can grow your muscles and increase your overall health, it seems that meditation may be a way of working out your brain with extra health benefits. And since your brain controls, well, all of you, why not relax and say every once in a while?
Western people started to realize that this seems very effective, the practice of yoga and especially the practice of meditation. So the basic form or the most important parts of meditation became very popular in Western cultures, but leaving out the very religious or spiritual or traditional parts of the yoga, the specific names. So where traditional cultural yoga would focus on specific words, on specific spiritual experiences, the Westerners started with the same breathing, the same body positions, but just focusing on any specific word for them to achieve the same effects. Why do you think, why is meditation so effective? Why does it reduce your metabolic rate, reduce your stress symptoms, and why does it have such health benefits? Okay, there is a speculation that where your fight or flight response is your normal stress response, this is a type of natural relaxation response. Okay, where you focus on specific elements, where you breathe rhythmically, and in that way you relax your own autonomic nervous system. What is the difference between just sitting and relaxing and between being in a meditative state? How can you see that difference in someone? Sitting and relaxing is associated with normal metabolism, but in a meditative state you actually slow down your metabolic rate, the amount of oxygen you take in, the amount of energy you use in that specific time. You can also see the difference in brain waves, where in the meditative state you get a combination between beta waves, which is the brain waves you get when you are completely relaxed, in your favorite chair, not doing anything specific, not thinking about anything specific, you are at your utmost relaxed. And then theta brain waves are the ones you feel just before you're going to sleep. That stage where you're not sure, did I just have a dream or was it just some weird thoughts? That stage of passover between being awake and being asleep, that's where theta brainwave patterns are the most active. So during a meditative state, it's a combination of these two. So you're not falling asleep, it's not a sleep state. How do you get into the meditative state? Two important elements are the mental device and then the specific attitude you have, the passive attitude. Now the mental device is just something you focus your attention on, so that your attention doesn't drift away to things that can distract you. So it can be a phrase that you hum, it can be a prayer, it can be a specific object, but whatever you focus on in order to lose all distractive thoughts. Right, and then the passive attitude is a non-reactive, non-judgmental attitude, okay, in which you just perceive what happens to you, but you don't react to it, you don't judge anything that comes into your consciousness. Now, how do you know someone is in a meditative state? There are different indicators, and this is very important for the exam, so please be able to name them and shortly explain them. Why do you think someone experiences a time distortion in a meditative state? Why do they meditate for an hour and it feels like they've done it for 15 or 20 minutes? Okay, and the reason for that, which people speculate, is the difference between the left and the right brain, where your right brain is more focused on what you are feeling, your different emotions and creative thought, and your left brain is the more rational, organized one, the formulating part of your brain, which also keeps the time. So during meditation, you're more focused on your right brain. Your right brain is more active, and your left brain is not really as active. So you lose that awareness of time. Ineffability is an interesting word. It means that you can't put a certain something into words. You can't explain it with the words that we have to our use in the English language. Be careful not to tell your love interest she is ineffable. That word might be taken up in the wrong way sometimes. Right, but why do you struggle to explain exactly what you felt while doing yoga? And same explanation, your right hemisphere, which allows you to feel different feelings, different emotions, is active, so you can feel these specific, vivid and realistic feelings. But your left hemisphere, which is supposed to formulate it into words, is taking a break. It's not active. So you never formulated that experience into understandable words. Present-centeredness is exactly what it says. No thoughts about what I did this morning, what I ate this morning, what happened yesterday, or about what is to come, the test I have to study for, I still have to meet up with that friend who I haven't seen in a while. No such thoughts, only focused on the present. What am I experiencing right now? Perceptual distortions are weird feelings you get of your body, perhaps starting to float, starting to lift up, float above where you are sitting, or a feeling of your body just sinking into the earth, sinking down. A final stage is self-transcendence. That's where you can feel a connection with a spiritual force, or a real connection with for instance, the Holy Spirit. When you pray in tongues, you are so focused on who you are talking to that you completely lose awareness of everything around you, lose awareness of all distractions, and you can feel your spirit connecting with the Holy Spirit, or with whoever that you are focusing on. Alright, we just explained how do we see someone is in a meditative state, what actually happens to them. Now the question is, why does it benefit you to be in a meditative state? How does it benefit you? What happens? So this is also important for the exam, and there are 4 different theories, 4 different approaches. The first is the desensitization theory. Now this is based on systematic desensitization, which is a therapeutic process. While you are busy relaxing, putting your body in a meditative, calm, relaxed state, any anxiety-provoking thought can enter your consciousness. For example, a thought like, I'm not where I want to be in my life right now. Now, normally that thought would provoke a sense of unease, a sense of anxiety, but now you are relaxing while that thought comes into your consciousness. So instead of having a stress associated with the thought, you are conditioning a very relaxed, calm state to that thought. And that built-in association, it also allows for more of these type of anxiety-provoking thoughts to enter into your consciousness, but you remain relaxed. So you associate dealing with those thoughts while being relaxed. The blackout theory is simple in the sense that it just means you disregard everything on the outside, all distractions, and just focus on something very, very specific. So some brain scans have shown that whereas your normal brain activity shows a certain amount of activity in your brain, someone in a meditative state shows much less brain activity, which explains the relaxed state that you achieve. So a normal brain scan would show electrical activity in most parts of your brain, while in a meditative state it will only show electrical activity in, say, a third or only a half of your brain. The rhythm theory is quite exciting. It says that your body tunes in while you are in a meditative state. It tunes into natural, relaxing rhythms. So think about the rhythm of the wind blowing before the rain comes, or the rhythm of the rain falling on the roof, or of a river flowing past you. Now that is a relaxing sound. The rhythm of waves at the beach breaking. Very relaxing sounds. Even the rhythm of a cat purring. Right, so while you're in the meditative state, your body goes in tune with relaxation rhythms, like your breathing. And your focus can become so intense, like you feel that you are breath. You focus on nothing else, just on the rhythm. You become the rhythm, and that reduces the relaxation. The cerebral hemisphere theory is similar to the explanations of the indicators of the meditative state, of why you experience a time lapse and things like that. And it says, in our normal modern day lives, our left brain is overactive, or analyzing rational brain. So the right brain, the creative feeling part of the brain, gets left behind. It's used not sufficiently enough. And while meditating, we just restore that balance. We give our right brain a chance to activate, a chance to be stimulated, and our left brain a chance to calm down and relax. And restoring that balance gives us the beneficial effects of relaxing. Concentrative meditation is where you choose your specific phrase or object to focus on, and you disengage from any other stimuli, from any other thought, from any other distraction. Okay, but with non-concentrative meditation, you open yourself up for any thought that comes your way, any type of awareness, and you make yourself aware of everything that you feel in that specific moment. So you don't force your focus on something, and you don't block yourself, you don't block any other thoughts or outside competitors for your attention. You just take it in, become aware of it, but don't react to it. Now, mindfulness is actually a component of its own, part of some therapeutic processes, where you absolutely can't become aware of everything that you feel at a specific moment. So you take time to be completely honest with yourself and open yourself up to everything that you feel in the present moment. So during mindfulness, you become more aware, and you become less reactive of those thoughts and feelings that you become aware of. And I'll explain that with an example. If you feel very frustrated at a certain point, or say you struggle to grasp some work that you are studying, and you feel stupid, right, or you feel not good enough, then you just become aware of that thought without reacting to it. So you would say, I'm having a thought that I'm feeling stupid or frustrated. Right? It's almost as if you go outside of yourself for a while and just observe what you are feeling. Now the next stage is the metacognition stage, where you think about what you're thinking. So then you would say, I'm becoming aware that I have a thought of feeling frustrated or feeling stupid. Right? And the next stage you go outside of yourself even further and would say, I just noticed that I was having a thought about feeling frustrated or feeling stupid. Okay, do you see how you become aware of the feeling, but you don't react to it? You almost detach yourself from it and just increase your awareness. And what we achieve while doing that is diffusing those thoughts or those feelings by becoming aware but by not reacting to it. Now the next part is also important for the exam. You don't have to know too much detail, but be able to at least name where is meditation effective, in which areas. So let's start with mood and effect. How do you think meditation affects your mood? How does it affect anxiety and depression? Can it increase your positive mood? And studies have found exactly that people suffering from depression who use meditation are much less likely to fall back into depression. So yes, it is effective. It's effective in reducing anxiety that people experience. What do you think is most reduced between trait anxiety, being anxious about many things most part of their life, or state anxiety, being very anxious about a specific thing? What do you think meditation would be most effective in reducing? Research has found actually both. So going through a very stressful time, it's effective for reducing that stress, or if you are a very stressful person, meditation will reduce your overall stress long term. And research also found people who used meditation were less reactive to normal threatening stimuli. So the amygdala in your brain, which says there's a threat, gets less reactive or less active for people that does meditation significantly. Then some interesting correlations. People that did meditation more had more empathy and more psychological well-being. Okay, in addition, people who meditated more also have less negative and more positive effect. So overall, on your psychological well-being, the effect seems to be very positive. When we look at the physical effects or benefits of meditation, all the stress-related health conditions that we did so far, all your cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, meditation significantly improves your condition for all of those diseases. Then other stress-related conditions that has to do with the immune system, effect of stress gets lessened because of the meditation. So the symptoms or the extent of them decreases for people doing meditation. Just want to point out, psoriasis is a condition where your skin gets red type of pointy scars and things, which is an immune, over-exaggerated immune response. Meditation actually relaxes that immune response to improve those symptoms. Can meditation affect your experience of pain? So what research has found so far is that it lessens the reaction to pain, the anxiety and the psychological distress associated with pain is reduced for people that meditate compared to those who don't. Also for cancer patients or serious conditions like that, the stress of getting diagnosed, of the life-changing effects of such an illness, the stress associated with that is reduced for someone who meditates. How would meditation affect your physical brain structure? One interesting finding is more activity in your left anterior side of the cortex, which is associated with positive effect. So that's activated more for someone who does meditation a lot. In addition, meditation is associated with activity in the insular and prefrontal cortex. Now those areas are associated with processing of your thoughts and your emotions. So you can just imagine if those areas are effective, any experience you have, any thought, any of your emotions gets affected by the meditation. What effect do you think meditation has on your normal brain aging, the decay of your brain? So this is also exciting. Meditation actually decreases or slows down the aging process. So less decay of your white and grey brain matter as you age. In that way, meditation serves as a protective factor against the development of late onset Alzheimer's. How do you think meditation will affect substance abuse? Now, this is interesting and promising. It significantly reduces chances of relapse and improves cessation of using substances. Now, this was for across many different types: smoking, substance abuse, alcohol abuse. So meditation is very effective in helping people overcome that stage of relapse and struggling with withdrawal symptoms. Can meditation affect your well-being and your quality of relationships? And interestingly enough, yes, it does. It affects people's evaluation of themselves. So a wife would be more aware of the positive experiences in her own marriage, instead of saying, look at what that lady and her husband are doing together, they're going on a cruise again. She would say, look how much quality time me and my husband are spending together every day. He packs lunch for me, he picks up the dog, down. In that way it creates more awareness and well-being of self, of yourself, of your evaluation of yourself and your own relationship. And then a specific type of therapy for relationships was found to be effective by focusing on specific positive words like love, care, kindness, and meditating on those words. It's also effective for improving the quality of the relationship satisfaction. Will meditation work for everyone, or are there some people for which it will not be effective? Right now, one certain type of person, the type A personality, who's always driven, always has to be busy with something. Meditation can be very frustrating for a person like that, to the point where they can even get restless, get angry. Also for a person that's not used at all to relax in this way, suddenly getting into a process where your body calms down that much while you are awake, that can provoke a feeling of loss of control, a feeling of anxiety, and meditation will not be effective for a person like that. I'll quickly go through biofeedback. We have done it before, but learning about the benefits of meditation, why do you think biofeedback is so effective? It also gives us a sense of control over our autonomous nervous system. I worked with a person who had anxiety while flying, and what we did, after I taught him a relaxation technique by using his muscles, breathing, and by using visualization, we trained the technique. He found the technique worked, it was relaxing for him. So when he went home, he had different videos of flying. One was of people at an airport, another one was people boarding a plane, then people in a plane, then engines running in a plane, and it progressed more intense like that. And he would measure his heart rate and his blood pressure while watching a video like that. Then he would do a relaxation response and measure again his heart rate and blood pressure. And while doing that, he saw, wow, this is effective, it is working. That increases your self-efficacy and the effectiveness of the relaxation technique, gives you more control in using it. Now, specific things that biofeedback works effectively for is tension headaches, where the headaches are the result of tensed muscles in the forehead, muscles in the neck. Doctors put electrodes on your facial muscles and on your neck muscles. Then you become aware when they are tense and when they are relaxing. This gives you a sense of control over these muscles, so that you can relax it during the rest of the day and reduce the headache symptoms. And for the rest of the conditions that are also treated by biofeedback, you can just read through them, make sure you understand them. Thank you very much.